Welcome, welcome. Tonight, we'll be talking about two things, two major things. But before I go ahead, I would like to know if you can hear me. That's one. And then, secondly, how are you doing? Like, how are you doing? Really? So, I don't know why I'm starting on this note, but maybe somebody needs to hear this. Maybe there's somebody who's watching who needs to hear this, but I'm going to say this. I know it sounds cliche, but don't give up. Yeah, don't give up. Um, but pretty much in a season where almost everything you are doing is being frustrated by external forces, you know, if it's not people, it's the government, it's one thing or the other, right? But don't give up. One thing that you need is the ability to morph, morph, the ability to morph, the ability to twist yourself and wriggle yourself into a system and still beat their own algorithm or beat their own logic and win. That's what you need. Okay, so sometimes your system may not be working. What you're doing may not be working, not because you're a bad person, but simply because you need to evolve. You need to try another means, another method, another path, right? The destination is the same. It's just the path that you need to change. If the path you're currently on is not getting you your desired results, you can change that path. You can follow another direction and still get to your desired destination as long as you have an idea where you're really going. Okay. So I would want to know who is with me on the studio. So if you happen to see this by chance, do well to make a comment. Let me know that you are following. Okay. So quite unlike me, I would have loved to do this in video, with a video format, but maybe fortunately or unfortunately, we'll be doing strictly audio today. But the purpose of this definitely won't be lost. Okay. So yeah, we're going to be discussing competence and connections. While mentoring people, I walk people through a framework of mentorship. And the first part of that framework is mindset. It's mindset. And then followed by clarity, which we treated last week. Clarity. Okay. Then after the clarity, the next part is competence, followed by connections. And what follows that connections is strategy, systems, structures. Okay. So clarity, competence, connections, strategy, systems, structures, and then you launch. So at this phase, we're treating connections and competence. At the first stage, you're overcoming your fears. You are banishing imposter syndrome, banishing limiting beliefs, all those things that made you feel like you don't deserve to win or you can't do this. You're handling those ones at the beginning phase, right? You're gaining clarity to know your next moves. But after that, something has to come, right? After that, you are just like a motivated vessel. But that vessel needs to be filled. Okay. If you paint a vessel, it is ready for use. If you prepare, you create, you produce a vessel, let's say a GP tank, right? GP tank is beautiful. People will go to the market and buy GP tank and keep. But until water is pumped into that tank and it fills the tank, people cannot come to fetch anything. So if you have conquered the realm of the mind, I mean, you believe that you can, you've done affirmations, you've done all sorts. If you've conquered the realm of the mind, and then you also know where you are going, you are just like that beautifully created and beautifully painted GP tank. But if you do not really fill yourself up with content, you're going to be an empty or half empty GP tank. If you're half empty, it simply means that you're going to run out of water soon, and people would neglect you and go to another tank to get water. If you're empty, they may only try you once or twice. And the moment they realize that, oh, this one is empty, empty vessel, empty barrel, they'll move on with their lives. They'll move on to the next person. Okay? So that is for, competence, the necessity for competence. What necessitates competence? Okay? And after that is circle. One of the things I love to share with people is how important circle is. How important circle is. You can be at the point of your life where you're doing really amazing stuff, right? Like, you deserve to be celebrated because of what you're doing. You know, you're doing stuff. You're probably coaching people, training people, speaking to people, writing on Facebook, and getting a lot of attention. But at the same time, you know that there's something missing. Probably the money that you're looking for is not forthcoming, or you are not getting honored or celebrated the way you think you deserve. A lot of times, the difference is not necessarily in skill or potential or ability to deliver anything. Sometimes the difference is your exposure, your network, how well you are able to connect with people, and how many people you are connecting with. Okay? So that is very important that you understand how these things interplay to get you to where you want to be. Now, um, the first one is competence. You need to fill yourself up. You need to fill yourself up. Let me tell you one thing that inspires me. Sometimes it shocks people when I say it, but that's the truth. Sometimes when I look at myself, I marvel at how much I do not know. I marvel. I think of so many things I don't know. The volume of books in my room that I have not read. I marvel at how much I don't know. And I love meeting encounters or having encounters where people ask me things that challenge me. Okay. So whenever I see that challenge, it reminds me again, dude, you're going somewhere, but at your current level, you are not enough for where you are going. This is very dicey. You can fall into the trap of, there's an extreme of self-doubt that no matter how good you are, you'll never believe you're good. You'll never believe. You keep sabotaging yourself. But there's another part of it. There's another extreme of self-belief that you think you're already so good. You are the best thing after sliced bread, or the best thing after, fresh cake, whatever. And then because of that, you don't see the need for growth. You don't see the need to evolve. You don't see the need to move. Okay. So that is also another terrible thing that you don't want to happen to you. You must be in constant awe of what you cannot do or what you do not know. It's a must. You must be in awe. You must be constantly, consistently excited by your own ignorance. Until you get to that point, you will not really see the need to grow. You won't see the need to study. Till date, if I pass a day and I don't study, I feel awkward. It's as if my whole body is paining me. It's as if, you know, someone just put fire on my body and I'm wearing it because I feel uncomfortable. Imagine the depth of volume that is still to be discovered, and I would just wake up and live a normal life and sleep normal sleep. No, there has to be a point of intentionality. You have to be intentional and strategic about your personal development for you to be able to move out from where you are currently. So there's a level of dissatisfaction, a level of anger, and a level of hunger that is needed to push you out of your current level. If you are too satisfied, you will remain here for too long. Yes. I know they teach and preach contentment everywhere, especially in church or religious organizations. Good. But I tell you, there is a form of contentment that is not really contentment in its real sense, but laziness. Laziness. You can't be contented and you are begging people for money. That's not real content. It's not true contentment. You can't be contented and you are happy being a pest to people. No, it's not real contentment. You don't need contentment if you're a pest, if you're a parasite to other people. What you need is a job. What you need is to go and work. It's not contentment shouldn't be what will be coming to your mind. You need to go and work. Okay. So, like I was saying, there has to be a level of anger that you must develop to push you out, to generate the internal energy to migrate you from this current energy level. You must be angry. You must be hungry. It's a must. Sometimes just look at yourself and just calm down and understand that there's so much you don't know. There's so much you need to know. That humility will make you go and study. It will make you go and pay for that course. There's a lot I'm going to be saying tonight, but whichever one I say, just hold it dear. Hold it close to your heart. The reason a lot of people do not shine is because they refuse to invest in these two things I'm talking about today. They refuse to invest in knowledge, quality knowledge. If all you do in your life is to attend free classes, trust me, it will only take you to an extent. Let me tell you why. It's not about value or knowledge, right? Relative to the information you're acquiring. Sometimes you need to pay for certain programs to sit with certain people. Why? You assess their thought patterns just by having conversations with them. I started charging premium when I started paying premium for other people's events. There are some people who, probably some of them may be at the sound of my voice. Once there's a training going on somewhere and you introduce a price tag, they disappear. Once you say, oh, the price of this thing, phew, they are lost. You won't see them again. Such people are harming their future or doing harm to themselves. So tell me, how are you going to grow? Free training, free training, free. When you go to free training, you're going to meet free people. When you go to free training programs, most times you meet people who are free. I'm not saying that they don't have value or that they don't have worth. No, it's people that have time, extra time, that keep on attending free summits. They're like, oh, I don't have something I'm doing in my life today. Let me just go for this free training, and they go, right? But there's an amount you start paying for events. You meet more intentional people. It is The law of natural selection has happened in your favor. So a place, a room you paid 60 to 100,000 to be inside. Do you think, do you think it is ordinary people that you're going to be meeting there? That your business, that may be all it needs. The right kind of people, the right kind of eyes, the right network, the right circle. But because you are not intentional or strategic about penetrating the right circle, you keep hanging around people who are, you know, I'm looking for the perfect way to put this so that it doesn't sound condescending. But let me say people who are relatively low pocketed. You get it? People who are not really rich, right? Or people who are not really so valuable in terms of what they can offer you. Okay. So there are programs you would attend, and that your business, the trajectory of your business will change overnight. You will experience a shift in your life just by being in a room. That may not even be a large room, it could be a room of 15 to 20 people. But because you know how to play your game right, you get maximum results. Okay. So when it comes to competence, building competence, one of the things that will help you is willingness to learn. Learn, go and take courses, buy books. I invest in books. And sometimes people may see the way I buy books and they complain. What are you doing with all these books? You're probably never going to finish all of them. Did I tell you I was planning to finish all? I don't even read books to read cover to cover and come out online and make noise. No, that's not the purpose of reading for me. Okay, I read books. Reading is not my primary way of assimilating information or getting knowledge. No, there's a way I read my books. Okay, and I take courses as well. So I could read maybe one book in a whole month. Now, someone who is observing may feel, oh, this guy doesn't read, he reads only a book. The person may not know that with that one book I read, or let me say alongside that one book, I finished over 12 different courses online in a month, you know. And to me, it's not about finishing, it's not even about finishing, it's about the information I can acquire from whatever knowledge endeavor, Abi, whatever knowledge voyage or knowledge journey I'm embarking on. What can I pick out from this? What can I take out from this experience? That's what matters the most to me. So if I'm learning anything, the purpose of learning that should be uh taking taking certain things out, taking certain things home, and not just taking home, but the most important, applying. The applicability of what I am learning is what matters the most. Okay, so read books, get books, read books. If you can't read text, do audiobooks. By all means, find what works for you. A lot of people are under pressure because somebody comes online and says, I read 100 books this year, I read 500 books this year, I read 1,000 books. You are now under pressure. You are trying to go and buy this and buy that and buy this. Any book you see somebody reading, oh, what's the name of the book? Can you send to me? What's the name of the book? Marriage by Susan and so. How to Two Have Become One by Willie Akani. You collect and you start reading. You see another book by somebody. Oh, this one is this. Give me now. Let me read. This one is business and finance. You collect and read. This one, no, no, that's not how to read books. You have to understand the season of your life that you are at for you to get the right book that will transform or give you an insight that can catapult you into another season altogether. You may need to sit down and understand this, because when you have the right understanding, it will affect everything. It will affect how you relate with people. Okay, it will affect the kind of courses you take, the kind of programs you enroll in. So find ways to ensure that you are learning the way you love to learn. You can take online courses. There are many sites, many websites. There's this guy, Joel Pandora. You can follow him on Facebook. Joel Pandora. You can follow him on Facebook. He shares Udemy links to courses that you can do and get certified for free. You know, there are many other ones. There are many other platforms. There's Udemy, there's Coursera, there's Allison, there's Edronix, there's Udacity, there's FutureLearn. For all those in the inner circle, you can request for a list of this. I'll send them to you. I'll send them on the inner circle group. Yes. So you can literally use some of these tools to make the most of your time. Education of the past, the education that you met, may not be enough to sustain you, may not be enough to drive you into the future. As it stands, most of us right now are obsolete. Most of us now have faded away as it stands, simply because we depended on what we studied in school. And unfortunately, we are realizing that that is not enough. So, get yourself some education. Embrace self directed learning. Be the captain of your education. Go on Udemy, go on YouTube. YouTube is a school on its own. There's almost nothing you want to learn that you won't find on YouTube. Go and learn. Remember, it's by getting angry that you would actually move forward. By getting tired of your current status and your current reality. By getting frustrated by the fact that the last time you were called up to speak, you had nothing to say. By the fact that you had a presentation to make and you were fumbling because you didn't have your data, you didn't have your facts, you didn't have your story in line. It was basically a mess. For that reason, for that reason, fill up your tank. Fill up your tank. Listen to podcasts that will change your mind. Podcasts that will help you to think like a billionaire. Podcasts that will open your head, open your mind. Okay? There are many other ways to learn. Join communities, attend events, attend local events, attend virtual and physical events, attend events. Attend events. At events, you get to hear the best current trends. Some of the speakers at events would indirectly give out premium value. What they sell premium, you can catch them. You can catch them for free when you join their programs, when you join workshops, when you join attend networking events. Especially when people are plenty, they will talk, and they'll forget themselves, and then they'll start spilling secrets. A lot of these very popular, influential people, coaches, mentors, leaders. Let me break this news to you. Let me share this simple, tiny secret with you. Don't share it with another person. Don't tell another person because I'm sharing with you especially. Some of these very wealthy people, very influential people, they are also very simple people. If you follow some of them, right, through um their boot camps, their trainings, the free workshops, the sessions that they've been invited to as guests, right? And you listen to them a lot, it's going to come a point where you begin to feel that they are repeating themselves. And I'll tell you why that happens. It happens because They are not in control. See, when you are on stage, sometimes you are not fully in control of what you are going to say next or what you are going to reveal. So sometimes they get excited and then they start teaching something. You hear speakers are you with me? I must apologize on behalf of MTN. Mm. So, like I was saying earlier, I just hope you can hear me. I hope you can. The network was bad, it threw me out, and I kept on trying to come back, and here I am. Here we are. So, like I was saying, some of these influential people, you would you will hear them speaking at events, and they say something like, "What I'm about to teach you, I've never taught it anywhere in the world," or "I've never reviewed it for free. I don't teach it in for free, but I will explain it to you because of you, because of the convener, because of people are always under that pressure to like impress their audience. So sometimes they don't know when they do that. They don't know when they review extra, right? So okay, finally I'm saying okay. Oh, Darlington, well done. Okay. Let me know if you can hear me now. Okay. So like I was saying, like I was saying, if you stick around those people, you can learn a lot. You can learn a whole lot. Sometimes, if you follow a man for too long, his words will become like repetitions. There are people I've listened to for long, and if I listen to their events, if I attend their events, I would just be hearing repetitions, 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 simply because they've been, they've been revealing a lot of what they carry. Okay, so this is just an advantage. This is an advantage to all of us. So say Faith, welcome. It's an advantage when you know this. So you can track such people, attend their events, go on YouTube, go and find everything that they've created. There's this thing I do. I can see a speaker and write and like the person, right? One of the first things I would do is to go and follow them on social media. I will stalk them anywhere they are, whether LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook. I'll go and follow, follow, follow. Turn on notification, turn on notification, turn on notification. Why? I want to think the way this person thinks. I want to understand his or her thought patterns. I want to be introduced to her or his philosophy of life. So I'll go and buy their content, follow them on all their social platforms, click notification bell or button, and then I'll start interacting, start engaging. Because the more you engage, the more the algorithm brings more of their posts to you. Okay. So the next one is okay, I've talked about reading books, I've talked about taking courses, I've talked about attending events, following them on social media, follow on LinkedIn, follow on YouTube, follow on Facebook. Sometimes you can even go ahead and ask, where do you exist? Where do you create content? I do this sometimes, and it helps me to also connect with some of these people. You reach out to them and, oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate this class, really meant so much to me. I was able to figure out something I've been thinking about for the past couple of weeks. And I'm grateful I attended this event today. Thank you so much, sir. Um, Obviously they'll say, oh, you're welcome. Thank you very much for the feedback. Sir, please, do you mind if I have your contacts? Do you mind if I exchange? I would love to keep in touch one way or the other. Do you mind? What's your Instagram handle? What's your Facebook handle? Let me follow you, sir. From there, you've started having conversations. Okay, sir. I hope you don't mind telling me what you do. What do you do? What work do you do? Or stuff like that. So they will now start sharing with you. Okay. So with that, you are still learning. You are following them. You are learning a lot from them. You get their books, you learn from them. There are people that I go to their programs, and because I see the way they speak, I know it's not just about public speaking. There's something else that they know. There's something else. There's another experience that they have that many people probably do not see. Okay. Because I like this, because I, you know, I see something in that person that is beyond their speech. There's a huge power that they deliver with, a huge form of authority that they speak with. There's a body of knowledge that they have that is uncommon. So I would go and beyond their speech, I'll go and start looking for their books. Where, sir, do you have a book? Sir, do you have a course? Do you have a program? Do you have a mentoring circle? Do you have something I can pay for to access? This is what a lot of people do not understand now. People want knowledge on a platter of gold. Gone are the days mentorship used to be accessible by, please mentor me, sir. Some people will even put, please mentor me now. Gone are those days. So I go for an event, I see a speaker that I like the way they are speaking, I reach out and say, okay, this is the person's books, 3 books, I buy the 3. Why? I want to know what is giving them the guts to speak with such authority. I want to know what they know that is different from what I and many other industry leaders and captains know, that's giving them confidence. And most times, do I get what I'm looking for? Yes. Okay. So that's one of the things I urge you to do. I went for a public speaking training recently in Abuja. That's like a couple months ago. And this man spoke, I have his book here, the CEO Podium Dynamics Academy, something SCN, yeah, George SCN. And the moment he concluded the training, I just realized this man is good at what he does. He's a great teacher, he's a great speaker. I need to know there's something else. There's something else that is bringing that difference for this man. And I need to follow it up. I need to discover what that thing could be. And guess what? I bought the 3 of his books that were available. I bought the 3 of them. 2 were on public speaking, one was on ideation. I bought them because I wanted to see how he thinks that is different from how most of us think, especially when it comes to public speaking. Okay? So I've said a lot. Find what works for you. Do it. Find a learning style that works for you. Utilize it. And don't let anybody shame you for what you choose. Some people, the reason they are still stuck is because they are on the audiovisual spectrum, but society seems to be pushing the message, the narrative. Oh, if you have not read 10,000 books, you have not started. If you have not read so and so amount of books, you are joking with your life. People will come out and say, oh, I read this number of books. I read 100 books. I read 10,000 books. How many have you read? This year alone, I finished so and so. So people are trapped in that identity crisis. The book thing may not be for you. It's not for everybody. Maybe you thrive more with online courses like myself. Go ahead and do online courses unapologetically. In 2020, during the COVID pandemic, the COVID break, while we stayed at home, I ate courses like food. I drank I drank online courses like water. Okay? I drank courses as if I was drinking water because I told myself, yeah, people read books and enjoy books, right? And they you know they just keep reading and reading and covering. And I'm like, okay, if these people are reading this amount of books, I should be able to also get real knowledge from taking many courses, and I fell in love with taking courses. I fell in love with it. There was a time when I felt so much pressure. I was under so much pressure, and I was seeing, oh, this person read how many books? This person is trending for reading 1,000 books in one year. This one is. I'm like, okay, is this what we want to be doing now? I tried to start, just reading only books. It wasn't working. Right from school days, right from school days, I hardly read class notes. Me reading class notes is just to prepare for exams. But if I want to understand the concept, I use YouTube. Type the topic on YouTube. By the time you get like quality resources, watch one, two, three, maybe four, you already have a firm grasp of that subject. Go back and read that your class notes. You definitely get it. Okay. So that was from a wee personal experience for me. Now, Now, I've overflogged this issue of competence. You have to build, learn, fill your tank, and then practice. There's no two ways about it. Practice, practice, share your knowledge, find opportunity, find the avenue. If it is not there, create it by yourself. Okay, practice occasionally, and then, you know, teach people what you know as well. Find ways to teach what you know. That's one of the ways to grow in knowledge or to solidify the knowledge that you already have. Teach people what you know. Set up that avenue, that monument. Set it up and start teaching people what you know. To keep you on your toes, it will make you realize that people are hungry, people have questions, people are looking for somebody to solve their problem. So you will go further. You would want to press on. Okay. So now back to the other party, the other one, and that is connections. No matter what you are doing in this life, your circle is important. And please don't build and don't unintentionally build a random circle that is going nowhere. You're just connecting randomly. Everybody you see connect. You're collecting number. Some people will even be like, oh, collect my number so that I'll collect your number so that you can view my status. Nonsense. Networking is something you need to sit down and learn. Okay. So that you don't end up doing it wrongly. Remember, I told you to a huge extent, your net worth is your network. What am I saying? Your network is your net worth. Yes, that's what they say most of the time. Well, let me shock us. Let me shock us. Permit me to say this. Your network is not your net worth. Your network is only your net worth to the degree at which you can ethically exploit the value in the relationships you create. From that network, you can only measure up your net worth to the degree to which you can ethically exploit that network. So, because the truth of the matter is, if the statement is true, if your network is your net worth, if it's true, if you check your account balance, it is meant to tally with the kind of connections in your phone. When you scroll. Some of you even have senator's number on your phone. You scroll, see this one, governor of this one, president of, eh. And at the end of the day, by the time you are done scrolling, you return to your reality. By the time you are done scrolling, you return to ground zero, to square one. When you need money, and you turn left and right, and you can't see anything. You're struggling to pay 2K from OPay, you know. but then you have billionaires in your contact list. So in the real essence, those people are not your, how do I put it? They don't owe you money. So the money in the account, it doesn't belong to you, no matter how wealthy they are, until they give the authorization. Okay. But if you have value that you can give to them in exchange for something that they have, can you see that there's a trade going on already? Okay. And eventually, so let's say you have a network, you have somebody in your circle who is very wealthy, one of the richest men in Africa is in your circle, and you are providing him a service. He may never give you money cash. Take, I don't know you, I don't think you are good, but take. It would hardly ever happen. Okay. But if you have value to offer, you can exchange something, and automatically, by the virtue of having these people, you can equate it to your wealth. So let's say I have land for sale, and I know I have billionaires that once I post the land, they will buy. I won't even be afraid. I won't be afraid. Okay. So I can gladly solve the maths and say, oh, my net worth, and all that. But until your network has been well developed, you cannot brag that it is your net worth. You cannot. Okay. So what we're going to, I think I'm going to bring a special day and teach on networking. Okay. Or an alternative is that I'll send my book to the inner circle. I'm going to send that book to the inner circle. I want every one of you to get your hands on it. Your ultimate networking guide. Get your hands on that book. It's going to reveal a whole lot about networking and building connections. But like I've tried to establish the importance. Okay, I've tried to establish the importance tonight. Please take this seriously. Attend events and join clubs, join forum, host your own events or host clubs, host communities, build communities, join communities, you know, targeted at specific things. Okay. So let's say you want to build a network with mothers. You can join mothers communities. I always use mothers as example whenever I speak. I always use mothers. But let's say you have a community of mothers. Okay. You join that community because you want to network with mothers. You go there and you will find them, or you create one and let people start looking for you as well. Okay. So that's one of the ways to boost your network, your circle, your connection base. Do things for people. Do things for people. You know, don't ever imagine carry it in your bear it in your mind. Never bear it in your mind that you are just there for you. Okay. You are there for many people who need your service. Okay. You are there for a lot of people who need your service, who need you. So when you know this, it shouldn't deter you from even connecting with people, because there's a likelihood that they may need you. They may need they may need what you have to offer. They may need your help one way or the other. Okay. So join forums, join clubs. There are clubs that, for you to join, you have to pay a certain amount of money. All these Toastmasters, um what's the name of this one again? These people that are always going on vacation. Rotary, Rotary International, JCI, Joint Chamber International. These are the kind of small groups that you should look towards joining wherever you find yourself. One of the things I do is whenever I find go to any location, is this not hard? This is not hard. You can pick up your phone, go to Eventbrite, and put your location there. You'll see events that are happening around you. You can choose which one to attend. I've attended uncountable amount of events in Abuja, uncountable, and I'm always happy for the kind of people I meet there. You have deep conversations, you get to understand yourselves, you exchange ideas, exchange your contacts, really amazing stuff. And before you know what's happening, they've come back, you've talked again, next thing, you know, it goes on. So try as much as possible to engage in those communities, in those circles. Sometimes the difference is just circle. I said this when I was starting. Sometimes the difference is just circle. You don't really need to improve anything again on your business, on your product. You don't really need to add anything again. All you need is the right kind of circle, the right kind of people. Penetrate those circles. Sometimes, you see, you need a form of value to purchase another form of value. Be ready to understand the language of leverage so that you can easily trade one value into another form. What do I mean? If you have money, start using your money to buy networks. How? Pay for premium events. They say an event is 100,000 naira per participant. Pay, because you know by paying you will eliminate the masses. The masses cannot afford to pay 100,000 naira for a training. Poor people cannot afford it. In fact, they will get angry. You see them on Facebook. What are you doing? Why are you charging 100,000 for a training? You people are the ones spoiling this country. You people wicked people. Look at them. It's not true. How can you be earning money and you want to come and charge 100,000 for a training? All of you, now they whine us. This is what you keep saying, right? The masses complaining. But when you pay, you won't see them there. That's the good thing about it. Once you pay, those people who are ranting, you will not see them there. You will see people who are serious about business, who are serious about life, who want to grow, who want to do something wonderful, and you can easily team up. Do your research, team up. Okay. So you can pay your way, you can also serve your way in. Okay. You can serve your way, you can work closely with people who are organizing events and serve simply because you want to connect with certain people there, okay, and to give you a lot of access. And if you're able to sell yourself and connect with people, there's no limit to what you can even achieve. So start making plans, start preparing yourself for that. Practice pitching in your room. 30 seconds, introduce yourself. I'm Chijoke Otiba. I'm a physiotherapist, a life coach, and a women's health advocate. I'm currently building a community housing over 600 mothers, and I basically help women and mothers thrive beyond the journey of motherhood, helping them realize that there's way more that they can do with their lives without disregarding their health. I just made this up right now, right? But let's assume that I met somebody who is into women advocacy, or maybe a very powerful woman came to speak in an event, and I, approached her and pitched myself this way. Most likely, she would want to continue the conversation. Oh, wow, that's interesting. You're a guy and you're doing all this. That's amazing. What inspired you? Conversation has started. And before you know what's happening, we're exchanging complimentary cards. See, this thing is not that hard. It's not hard. It's not hard. Okay. So just keep engaging and engaging and realize that this is where leverage lies. One person you meet from a place, one person you meet from somewhere can literally introduce you to another person who can introduce you to a group. And before you know it, you are doing stuff for groups of companies, very mighty establishments. Okay. So yes, we've hit the 1 hour mark. We've hit the 1 hour mark. So I'm gonna just wrap up now. I'm gonna wrap up now. Okay. Um, don't let anything stop you from actually making the right connections, building the right network. Don't let anything stop you. Learn to pitch yourself, learn to introduce yourself. Always have value. Always have value to give. I'm going to wrap up with this. People approach networking from a needy perspective. I need, I want, I need, I want, I need a job. I need, a contract. Somebody sign me up. Somebody give me money. Somebody give me food. That's how a lot of people approach networking. And that's why if you noticed, a lot of people don't like networking, especially wealthy people, because they believe that if you are coming to them, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard uh, to not have a need attached to it. They are afraid of, having certain people in their network because people usually come to them. But when they come to them, it's not because of who they are. It's not because they want to play with him, with them. It's not because they want to do anything. It's simply because they want to benefit. They want to drag. They want to draw. They want to pull. Most times, it's they tell me this or so. Moving on. Moving on. I've said a lot of things tonight, so I want you to pick pick your action points. Pick what you're going to use as action points. Choose. Start making those differences in your life. Start making those differences. It begins from tomorrow. You can decide to go on Facebook Live and introduce yourself. You can decide to go on LinkedIn or YouTube. Just do something. Let people start knowing you. Start getting used to that introduction format. Okay. So yeah, I'm going to end the session here and bring in any questions that you have from this session on the inner circle group, and I'll definitely attend to it. Okay. So you have an amazing night rest. Have an amazing night rest, everyone. I see you. Those who attended this session, you have a very special place in my heart. I see you. Well done, Darlington Ijoma. Ijoma. Um, Ruth Oluwatosin Adova. Gloria Dania Ifesi Amarachi. Oluwasusi Faith Ifesi. Okay, yes. Onyibo Chioma.